Before participating in the following activity, there are some important things we want you to do. Please remember to practice physical distancing of at least 6 feet from anyone that is outside of your home. Wear comfortable and proper shoes. Make sure you have an open space around you with no objects or obstacles in the way. Use the proper equipment or alternative objects you can find in your home. And last, stay hydrated and have fun.
Hi, and welcome to week 6 of the virtual summer training series for athletics. Today's track and field focus is going to be sprinting. So we have, we're set up here just on our residential block, and we're going to get underway. We have a special guest star for our athlete today is Jackson. He's a Nordic ski volunteer in Barrie, so he's familiar with working with our athletes, and he also has had 4 years of track and field in high school. So we're looking forward to today's workout, and let's start with a simple warm-up. Jackson's just starting his warm-up. We've measured the block in front of our house is about 70 paces, and that's a pretty good length without having to cross a street. We've inspected the ground. There's nothing that's a barrier or no trip hazards or anything like that. Jackson's wearing appropriate gear for working out. He's got his running shoes on. It's a sunny day. He's got his hat on, his water bottle's nearby. And our warm-up, we're just gonna get our blood flowing at a moderate jog. We're still working out in our neighborhoods and near our homes. We may not want to go to a busy spot, and the facilities might not be open yet. So finding a quiet block near your home is perfect. Just as if we were at a track and you might do like a lap or 2 laps. Jackson's going to do 6 lengths. And this'll bring us to about a lap or so. Warm up. Some athletes might do continual jogging like Jackson's doing. Some athletes might mix it up with a walk-jog combination. We just want to get some blood flowing to our muscles before we get to our workout. We don't want to get injured by being unprepared. That's super. Jackson's going to walk back. And we know it's a warm day, so he's going to have a water break. Being summer, you might also want to have an electrolyte drink. You might notice that a lot of the different sports warm-ups are very similar. And that's going to be true. Whether you're sprinting or doing distance or getting ready for a soccer workout, you just want to prepare your muscles. Jackson has a few favorite exercises for his warm-up routine. What are we starting with, Jackson?
Starting with our A's, B's, and C's. Starting with the A, which is high knees, B's, a little kick motion, and C's, buckets.
Okay, so Jackson, are we going to do 4 lengths of each, taking our time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jackson's not racing through this warm-up. He's just taking his time. We found a nice shady spot here. Good job. So we're going to mix it up now. Going to the B, which is a high knee. And the foot just comes out a little bit. Okay, take a breath. Okay, and here we can see these little butt kicks. Jackson's not racing with big steps. It's more about getting the foot up behind your bum. If anybody's finding themselves short on space, you can also do this even standing in a standing position in your living room or something like that. Thank you, Jackson. Okay, what's next? We're gonna go side stars. There we go. Big side steps with your feet. Nice wide arms. We're gonna keep facing the same way. And that way we're going in both directions twice. So we're going to continue our warm up with some sweeps. Jackson's got his front foot out and his back foot knee is bent, and he's reaching down far enough almost to his foot. And that's getting a nice little hamstring stretch. Turn around and come back the other way. Okay, we're gonna switch it up. And we're just gonna do a lunge with a twist. So the front leg's down, knee is over the toe, the back knee comes down almost to touch the ground, and you're gonna twist from the waist. This is also a little bit of a practice for your balance. How do we feel, Jackson? Do we have any more warm-up activities?
One last.
One last one. What is it?
Squat.
Okay. So we're just pivoting one foot to the next foot sideways and sitting down into a sitting squat. And come back. And just to remind that this set of exercises is being done on about 20 meters length of sidewalk. So you don't need a big area. Or again, you can do the warm-up portion in a smaller space, such as an indoors room. All right, we feel great. Thumbs up. Thanks, Jackson. One thing that we're gonna practice, right? If we think about a sprint, it has some components. It's got your start, it's got your acceleration, you got your cruise and your finish. So we're gonna think about the start. So one little activity to get us thinking about bursting and taking off from our feet. We don't have starting blocks. It's not a race, but we're gonna practice it. So we're gonna lie on the grass where it's softer, on our belly, almost in a push-up position. So we're lying right down and our hands are beside our head. And we're gonna say, on your mark, get set, go. And when that happens, you're gonna get up and sprint. But it's about 5 or 6 steps. On your mark, get set, go. Nice. And we're gonna do it from that side now. So we're gonna lie down and think about pushing off on your legs. Think about driving up from the ground into that stand-up position over about 5 or 6 paces. On your mark, get set, go. Nice. Nice start, nice drive. Let's do that again. On your mark, get set, go. And you can see Jackson's arms are driving him forward as he goes. Okay? Let's do one more of those. Everything's in 4s today. On your mark, get set, go. Nice. Time for a quick sip. That could be a workout in itself. You could do about 20 of those if you really wanted to. For today's workout, we'll just keep it at the 4. Everything's in 4s. So as we said before, the length of our sidewalk is about 70 meters. So we're gonna do some intervals, some short and long. We're just gonna call them short and long because your block could be longer, your block could be shorter. We're not too worried about the distance. So Jackson's gonna sprint half lengths. So from one end of the block to the halfway point, and we know there's a big plant there. You'll see where he stops is a plant. And we're gonna do 4 repeats. So sprint to the plant, walk to the other end. Sprint back to the plant, walk to this end. 4 times. And we're watching, go ahead. We're watching form, it's speed, it's acceleration, it's a sprint. So what do you feel like when you're sprinting? You're feeling fast. And he's just walking it out between each one. Just a little bit of rest between each one. So he's sprinting, sprinting, sprinting right through, not stopping. And there he goes. Okay, we're not putting on brakes, we're just slowing down. Okay, ready for number 3. and just walking it off. Right through, right through, right through. Nice. Now walk to the other end. Oh, was that 4? Oh, great. That's 4. Jackson's maybe going to take a sip of water again. And we're going to move into our long interval. So we're going to do full lengths. And we're actually going to take a significant rest in between. We're going to do a full sprint and then a quick walk back to the start. Full sprint, quick walk back to the start. Do that 4 times. And then we're going to repeat the short sprint. And again, keep safety in mind. You don't have as big of a run out on the full block. You don't want to run out onto the road. So he's gonna just walk back to the start. And we're remembering it's that really strong start, acceleration, and keeping it strong right for the whole distance. There he goes, there he goes, there he goes. Strong, strong, strong. Quick water drink. This is number 3. And remembering our sprinting form, which is a nice high knees, driving arms, looking forward. This is number 4, last one of the long ones. Awesome. How'd that feel, Jackson? How did that feel, Jackson?
Hot.
Yeah, it's hot out. So we're gonna have a water break. And then we're gonna go back to our previous interval, which was the short ones. So here we are again, doing the short sprint intervals. Just running half the length of the block. The rest period is the walk to the end. We're going to do that 4 times, just like we did the previous set. That was 3. And even though it's a short sprint that you're doing, you can still visualize yourself running in that track meet race and running through the finish line. This plant is the example of our finish line, and you run right through there. Good job, Jackson. Here we go. Super. Good set. To finish off our workout, we can work on our flexibility a little bit and do some stretching. We did our dynamic warm-up exercises before the workout, and now we'll do some stretching. We're going to work from the top down. We're going to, as normal, hold each stretch for at least 10 seconds. We've had our hands over, our arms over our head. Now we're putting our arm across our body. You might need to have a tree or a bench or a wall as your balance partner, unless you can do this stretch standing up with some good balance. Your knee is pointing straight down and your heel is right under your bum. Same hand on the foot that's lifted. We're just going to have our feet shoulder width apart and reach down towards our toes. Bend the knees a little bit. You don't want to hyperextend your knees. And lunge to the side. As with any stretch, you only want to feel the stretch. You don't want to get to the point where you're having any pain. You just want to feel your muscles take the stretch. Okay, we're going to take a seated position. Some people might be able to reach to their knees, down their shins. If you're more flexible, you'll be able to reach your toes. Again, keep your knees a little bit bent. If you're doing this stretch, the hurdler stretch, your foot can come underneath your bum. Tuck it in quite nicely. Other people like to have their foot facing their other knee, so it's actually crossed in front of you. Whatever you feel most comfortable with. And again, you want to hold your stretch nice and steady for at least 10 seconds. Thanks for joining us for today's virtual track workout, all about sprints today. So just to recap, we did a light warm-up, we did some drills, and then we did some interval training, 4 short, 4 long, 4 short, with a cool down afterwards. And you can determine what short and long mean. Today we were 35 meters and 70 meters, and you can just play with that. It can be a little longer. It can be, it can be 20 and 40 meters, as long as you're getting out there and doing it. So again, thank you for joining us. All the best with the rest of your summer training.